What is something you thought was sexually normal until someone pointed it out to you? Turns out you should definitely communicate which terms and vocabulary are turn-ons before you start your dirty talk. Ooh baby, you fuck like Shrek. Orgasming in your sleep. Watched an explained episode about the female orgasm with some friends. Was shocked to find out it isn't common, and shocked my friends when they found out I sleep orgasm pretty frequently. Every time I have an orgasm in my sleep, I wake up on my period. Every single time. It's very disappointing lol. I mean, other women wake up on their period without an orgasm in their sleep beforehand, so I guess you got that going for you. I see that you're a menstrual cup half full kind of person. You beautiful son of a bitch. I laughed out loud at that one. Not sure if this counts. My wife and I have been married for 13 years, together for like 15 years, and been lifelong friends from childhood. Ironically, the only time I ever hear her say my name is when I get her off around the house. It's honey, sweetie, or any other pet name. Never once my name. My wife will only say my given name while moaning. Edit. I did not realize how much this would blow up. Honestly, I thought this would be a throwaway comment because I myself realized it after we had sex and it really didn't follow ops format. For a bit more background, the night I pointed it out to her, she didn't realize she was doing it, and for a long while neither did I. I loved her rationale on why she does it though. Bear with me, it's more of a paraphrase it. I don't know why I do it. I just feel so close to you on that moment. I can't explain it. I just can't help myself. Not exact words, but close enough to the mark. She conditioned you to be ready for sex anytime she says your name. Fuck. Edit. As per Reddit tradition, here's my funny and original new meme. Pavlov's doggy style. Pavlov's doggy style. Edit. As per Reddit tradition, thanks for the award or awards kind stranger or strangers. I didn't think twice about kissing with my eyes open. Then mid-makia at the guy opened his eyes for a quick second, and then a look of shock passed over him. He was polite enough not to say anything. I had to read a bunch of Cosmo magazines that night to figure out why he looked so surprised. I used to think that open eyes was weird until I met my hub. He does it, and it's actually so intimate. I like doing it now. I'll vary. 50-50. My wife hates it. I mean, if she hates it, then why don't she just close her eyes? She won't see that yours are open. Obligatory, not me, but my friend had a buddy in high school with a huge foot fetish. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, nor was sex ed where we grew up that good. He'd never heard of the concept of a foot fetish and didn't believe anything about him was abnormal. He thought feet were just a regular sex characteristic, like breasts or ass, and that we were the abnormal ones. I'll never forget his shock when we called him out on it. What do you mean you guys don't like feet? You're not gay, are you? Dude, was I your friend from high school? Dude, are you my friend from right now? Apparently in what's called a grower, I thought every own's dick was really small, flaccid, and would grow to be a few times bigger erect. Compact storage, there when you need it. That's how it works, right? We call this the tactical penis. Getting ready for sex, roger that. Deploying the package. Unzips. Penis starts growing. Heavy metal music starts playing. I figured I wouldn't relate with anything on this, but yeah, that actually surprised me too. I feel fine about where I'm at in action thanks to some admiring compliments. But out of action it's nothing special. Didn't realize a lot of guys don't have that problem. Still a bit of a nudist though. Apparently girls like growers more than showers though, cause they can watch their handiwork come to life, so don't feel too bad. Are you also talking like 4-6x bigger? Because I definitely thought that throughout school until I started watching porn around late middle/early high school. I thought guys liked their balls squeezed. Cause of the porn I watched, learned the hard way that it's not the case. Oof, poor lad. Yeah, I didn't get a second date. You're squeezing my balls on a first date. Why wouldn't you get a second date? He didn't have any balls left for a second date. Somebody please give this guy an award. I've got a story along those lines. The porn I watched way back when had the guy aggressively licking her all over down there, basically motorboating with his tongue out while gruntily yelling. Can you guess what doesn't turn women on? Oh my god, I had a guy like that minus the grunting. I couldn't stop laughing cause he looked so absurd, shaking his head side to side. How does one pleasure a vagina orally? Asking for a friend, because I'm totally not a virgin. Not like this information will be useful to me since he will always be a virgin. Is this a serious question? I'm asking because I want to give you tips, but don't want to put myself out there if this is actually a joke. I have a friend who wants to know too. Calling each other different names. Oh yeah, take it Gary. I just did a Yoda laugh reading this. Just figured I'd let you know. It's nice when a joke lands. I'm batting about .050. That's a pretty bad batting average. Maybe you should switch careers and become a comedian. I tried to recreate this and just a Scooby-Doo / My parents were horrible and didn't do much to raise my sister and I. We had to get our knowledge from other people or other sources. One thing they never taught us was what is consensual and non-consensual sex. When I was 23 I met my worst partner. He would force me to have sex or do sexual acts with him, and he would tell me that I had to do it as his girlfriend. I didn't think or know it was wrong, since my parents never taught us that, and we never learned it in school. It wasn't until almost 5 years into the relationship that I learned this. We were out at a bar with friends in their mid-30s. We both got really drunk that night and couldn't drive home, so our friends said we could stay with them. They put us in their 14-year-old son's room since he was staying at a friend's house. I have a thing where I won't have sex in someone else's bed. I personally think it's rude and inconsiderate. My partner begins trying to have sex with me and I'm fighting him off, reminding him about how I don't like having sex in someone else's bed. It was starting to become more violent. He had removed my shirt and bra and is ripping my pants off me when my friend's husband comes busting through the door, rips my boyfriend off me, throws a blanket on me, picks me up and takes me to his bedroom and puts me in the bed with his wife and tells her to lock the bedroom door behind him. After she gets me something to sleep in, she asked me about what happened. I told her, and that's when I learned that no partner has the right to do anything they want to you, even if you are in a relationship with them. I felt so dumb for many years after that I had let this happen to me for almost 5 years. I still look back and ask myself how I never knew that your partner forcing you to have sex was rape. Beer licking, I personally love it, and I thought most guys felt the same having it done to them until one guy asked me, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't do that." Said that shit was gross. I was deflated, lol. Nibbles are hot. I've had guys stuck their tongues in my ear, which just ugh. I don't want to hear that, and I don't want to feel it. Nothing turns a girl on like a wet willy. Insta dry. I used to date woman that loved to have a tongue in her ear during sex because it was like double penetration for her. Haha, gross, I love it. I thought everyone had fetishes until a game of Never Have I Ever when I was in high school, where one kid said never have I ever had a fetish, and I was the only one who put a finger down. Thank God none of my friends saw me put a finger down because they were too busy laughing at the word fetish. Everyone has a fetish, some just don't know it yet. Not true. A fetish is something you can't get turned on without. A kink is something that turns you on. Most people do not have a fetish. Fun facts. I used to clarify this often, then realized most people don't care, and if anything is a turn off when discussing kinks and fetishes. This man reads the room. Not getting off. I figured something was wrong with me. Finally got off with a girl who actually put effort to get me off. Realized I was having horrible sex with lazy girls. Hey, me too. Nothing wrong with you. Some of us guys just don't get off terribly easily, even with good sex. It takes some work and time. So honestly, I don't always get off, but that's okay. Sorry guys, I get off. If someone looks at it funny, I'm enabling the lazy bitches. My ex-girlfriend was like an animal in the bed. The animal was starfish. When I was jerking off, I would always be laying on my back and just come on my own abdomen. When I started having sex, I would pull out, and instead of coming onto the girl, I would lean back and come on myself, because that's how I had been doing it for years. I had it pointed out to me and then realized, holy shit, come on to you. That's genius. What the fuck kind of ooga booga shit is this? This Neanderthal just coming on himself. The girl was probably like, / now come and lick the glaze off this big hairy donut. Holy shit, and Diane. Come on girl, lick it off my belly. My wife always thought biting her lip was sexy and seductive. I just never had the heart to tell her it's supposed to be the bottom one. Wasn't there a cartoon on the front page with this? Found it. I'm now trying to bite my upper lip and it just feels awkward. LMAO. This made me chuckle. Washing my dick before sex. Turns out I'm a freak for wanting my dick to be clean before using it. I always thought it's better to do so to prevent some disease, and also it must definitely be better if girls want to go for blowjob. I personally don't like BJS that much. You're a good partner. Thanks. Good. Just remember you're expecting the other person to put that in their mouth and other places. If you were them, wouldn't you want it to be clean too? I wish every guy had this mindset. Assuming that women automatically know what you want just because your first crush did. It turns out that you have to tell them exactly what you like / dislike if you want them to know. Your first crush had sex with you? Fucking mad lad. Unless what he wants is to be dumped. I wouldn't mind being dumped after having sex with my crush. I haven't seen my first crush since we were 8, so worked for Oedipus. I thought my foreskin was normal until I watched porn. Turns out normal foreskins are supposed to be able to pull back. Mine somehow fused together in a way that does not let me pull it back. Am considering getting circumcised for hygiene. This was me in my teens. I stretched it by myself. Works like a charm now. What would the safest way to do that? Hot bath and gentle pulling back of the foreskin. Just don't expect it to stretch straight away. Now what if one doesn't own a bath? Just do it in the shower. You know what's weird? In my early 30s now, I realize that somehow sex goes through trends. Like, choking would have been a really kinky weird thing when I was younger. Now practically every woman I'm with asks for that. When I was in my 20s, most women I slept with said that most guys didn't give head as foreplay, which seems nuts to me since it makes everything else so much better. Lazy dudes, I guess. I'd give anything for choking to be thought of as weird. At least you wait for women to ask. I feel like I'm constantly fending off hands around my neck when they used to go for my boobs. See, I actually like it, but the guy, in my experience, never asks. So there's the constant mental battle of ooh, I like this versus hey, not cool. I feel like your last sentence more or less sums up how US women relate to US men. Do they just go straight for a hard choke? Usually working my hands up from nipples to neck lets me know if I can get away with it without having to talk about it. Not making sounds. I didn't watch porn with sound to not awake my parents at night, so I never knew what sound you're supposed to make. Bro, just turn subtitles on. Subtitles, sex noises, deaf people, oh yeah. Wait, you're not supposed to say sex noises? Subtitles, macaroni in a pot. Beat me to it. Can you imagine being a repressed young teen cruising Reddit a few years back and you stumble upon /u/tabledic dude and think that's normal? Edit. I know he was fake, you guys. Well, call me Alice cause I just went down that rabbit hole. He ended up being a fraud apparently. There was a r/drama and quit your BS post about it. Edit. This comment got bigger than I expected. Here are the links. https www.reddit.com/r/quitty or bullshit/comment/6s4d40/underscore apparently_dram/dude_sourc equals share and utm_medium_ios_app and utm_name equals ios_smf. https://www.reddit.com/r/s/gabrus/comment/605brit/sound_use_bledic-dude_is_or/underscore and utm_medium equals ios_app and utm_name equals ios_smf. Staying hard after coming. I don't know how long you're talking about, but I've always stayed rock solid for a good 10 minutes or so afterwards. Do people really go flaccid right after finishing? I've been known to soft as I nut. I had some weird side effects due to antidepressants and Adderall. It surprised quite a few girls when I was dating. It was like the Wicked Witch of the West when she got water thrown on her. I'm melting. This made me wheeze laughing. Thanks. Bruh, my whole body goes flaccid. Having a secret, intimate relationship with a man 12 years older than me when I was 15 to 16. Oh yes. I used to flippantly say I date older men when I was 15 to 16. Leaves me cringing to this day. Deadass out and about dating fellas in their mid to late 20s. I'm 25 right now, and the people I've dated in the past year or so still aren't as old as my first couple boyfriends. Like, holy shit. What amazes me is that there are so many men in their 20s doing this, but then again I'm not surprised. They just love the way teens fawn over them. I think one of the most revealing quotes I can remember one of my exes saying was, "People my age don't like me." I thought, that's crazy. He's so effortless cool, handsome, and smart. Then my 20s it. Thought about that comment again. Was like, oh yeah, definitely not. This isn't me, and I tried not to tell this story as long as I could, but it's my favorite story in the world. I, 33F, was at my friend's house when my phone rang. It was my BF, 33 meters, laughing hysterically with his friend, Bobby, 26 meters, whining you don't have to ask her. After a few sips, he takes a deep breath, and I heard the last thing I could ever imagine. Who takes the morning after pill, the boy or the girl? I have never taken one or seen one, but obs the girl. The laughter begins again. While he chokes out, we called the nurse's hotline, and Bobby told her his school nurse told him to take it, and the nurse laughed. At this point I remember this moron is married with a daughter, but he definition slept around, and I start laughing, realizing how many years he must have taken them. Then my BF tells me they called one of his friends first. His answer was, what's plan B? They called another one who fancies himself a Casanova. The girl takes 2 and the guy takes 1. At this point I'm on the floor. At which point Bobby pipes up, I didn't even do that, I was kidding. Sigh, the box said they work for 72 hours, so I figured. This man has been taking plan B every weekend for 7 to 8 years. I cried on the floor for 10 minutes. Then realized this man has reproduced, votes and can drive. Wait, what? How the fuck did he think that works for him? My first BF. I was 18, he was 28. Same cunt got me hooked on meth as well. Taught me that it's perfectly normal that someone has sex with me while I'm sleeping. After breaking up with him, and before discovering it ain't what everyone is doing, this belief led into a few traumatizing and quite dehumanizing events. All good now, but damn, it feels crazy how a single person is able to shape your whole reality into something unrecognizable. Oh damn, this took a dark turn. I'm sorry to hear that you had to go through this, and I hope you are doing better now with the meth addiction too. Oh yay, broke up him 7 years ago, haven't touched meth since. I hope you're doing okay now. I'm sorry you had to go through what you did. I thought penises had 2 holes till a month after my wedding at the age of 28. I also didn't masturbate till after I had 6, because I had never thought to. Didn't know what exactly a clit was till my sister explained masturbation while laughing hysterically through a door. 18. I talked mad shit and no one realized that I just never knew. Found out I'm autistic at 33 lol. Would you mind explaining the process for autism diagnosis please? Do you mean medically or how it suddenly came up at my age? Both. Yeah, both is good. Not wanting to have sex with a man. The thought of it made me nauseous, and not in a nervous way. I felt trapped. I'm a lesbian. Edit. I'm so glad my comment is sparking such an important conversation about differences in the complexity of sexuality. Everyone is different. You are all normal. You are all valid. Consenting human adults that are of age is the only thing that matters. Been there. I'm bisexual. In my case my ex-boyfriend was just such a disgusting human being that I would physically get nauseous from any sort of contact with him. For years I thought I was just crazy until I realized how toxic he was and how abusive and manipulative he was. I don't want to sound rude, but may I ask why would you stay with him for years if he was so toxic? I'm genuinely interested. Pain. The guy I lost my virginity to was 11.5 inches long. It wasn't until I left him for a dude with a shorter length did I realize that anyone who stands by bigger is better is fucking wrong. I've been with both ends of the spectrum of penis length and can confirm the size of the boat is truly not as important as the motion of the ocean. Yes, there is still hope for the 2-inch Punisher over here who my fiance jokes about being built like a tuna can, 1.5 inches long, 4 inches wide. He might not be able to hit the bottom, but he can blow out the side walls. It's not an accurate description, but it's hilarious. Buddy of mine in the Marines had a similar line. I can touch the sides of a tuna can, but not the bottom. I'm gay, and when I first started having sex I thought fingering was pretty normal. I like being fingered. I figured most other gay/bi guys did too. Apparently not. Seems like most of them don't like it and don't like to do it. I feel like I've eaten ass and had my ass eaten more times than I've been fingered or fingered someone. And I can literally count the number of times I've had my ass eaten. 6 times. That was a journey. Yeah. I'm exhausted. I don't smoke, but can I bum a cigarette? Probably. They're not that big, but you may need a little lube to get it started. I'm fucking dying. Having a hairy bush. I always thought it was normal for guys to let it grow. My first serious girlfriend never said anything. I was talking to some of my male colleagues at the time and they were talking about their grooming habits. In my head, getting rid of your hair was something only girls did, or gay guys. I decided to make fun of their girly behavior, and they looked at me like I was an alien or something. They asked me how long it was since my last trim. When I said I never touched my bush they didn't believe me. So I pulled a 5 to 6 inch hair out of my pants to prove it to them. My reputation at that job never recovered from that. Well, I guess you learned from that. I mean, you don't need to wax, but I guess it might help your chances if your junk is visible through the hair and the hair isn't going to be a choking hazard. He's just being thoughtful of his partner. Free floss. I'm a female. 20. My partner is a male. 20. We've been together since middle school, and our relationship has always been the same ever since we met. I've always been the more loud, aggressive, and dominant personality. He's always been the more awkward, shy, submissive personality. When our relationship turned sexual, when we got older, we just naturally fell into our roles, with him being the bottom submissive and I being the top dominant in bed. It just worked for us, and we never had a discussion or any questions about it. I found out about a year ago now that it's an extremely rare thing for the girl to be a top and the boy to be a bottom in a relationship. I found out that a lot of people are surprisingly adverse to it, or are shocked and ask you what I think are a ton of obvious questions. I found out that this type of relationship has its own name, femdom, and that a lot of other people in this lifestyle have to search for years for a partner and have a lot of relationships end. Because of this, for us it just happened, but I guess we were extremely lucky and it's not the norm. The end. Thanks for watching.